On this week's episode of the Books, Booze, and BS podcast, we discuss The Future Saints by Ashley Winstead. We also talk about what grinds our gears. Happy Welcome to this week's episode of the Books, Booze, and BS podcast. I'm your host, Mike. I am joined this week by Sarah, Crystal, and Katie. Everyone say hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
As always, we'll start with sharing what everyone is drinking this evening. I'm going to go to Crystal first.
Oh, well-deserved Sauv Blanc tonight.
What? From where?
Okay, it's a cheap one. It's not a good one, but it's still deserved.
I mean, like what? Is it like New Zealand? Is it California?
No, it's like Sutter Home. I grabbed it in a
Oh.
hurry. Not even like good New Zealand Sauv Blanc. Yeah.
So you're just drinking what you have and just powering through it.
Exactly.
Katie, drink?
I'm drinking the usual. I've got some flavored vodka with mixed berry tea.
What's the flavor of the vodka?
Citrus.
Okay, that works. I was going to say, I was checking to see if it'd be a conflicting flavor to the mixed berry, but that would work.
Little
And-
lemon, little berry.
And Sarah, what are you drinking?
I'm having a high noon tequila, and it is grapefruit.
Yum.
Yes, I like the high noon tequilas. If you haven't had them, they're very, very good. The passion fruit one is the best. The worst is the strawberry, but they're in the same variety pack.
You just got to find someone to pawn the strawberries off on.
I tried to with my husband, and it didn't quite work.
You do it for someone outside the house who doesn't know better.
True.
I am drinking a Honeycrisp THC drink made with
Ooh.
fresh apple cider.
Yum.
That sounds awesome.
I drank way
Okay.
too much yesterday to consider drinking today.
Happens.
Yep. Too many margaritas in the pool.
Yay, the pool's open.
The pool is open, ready to go for this weekend.
Nice.
And since it's going to be as hot as the depths of hell this week,
Yeah.
I will not be
Ready to
leaving it.
sweat.
All right, so let's talk best bite of the week. Katie, what was your best bite?
So I was really disappointed in my best bite of the week because I came to Connecticut and saw all you lovely people and went to the Travelers Championship, and I expected to like be wowed, but I went conservative on all my food because sometimes when I travel, I get heartburn, and it's kind of embarrassing, but that's what happens when you're 43 years old. But so this is not kidding. Real. I think my best bite of the week was I ordered Domino's pizza yesterday, and we got one of those cookie brownies, and it was like the best cookie brownie that I've ever had from Domino's. So suffice to say, it's kind of boring, but it was really good.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Sarah, best bite.
I'm going with, we make a grilled pizza at our house, and we made our first one of the season this year on Saturday, and it was really, really good. It was fresh mozzarella, fresh basil, and fresh tomatoes, and it's delicious, and it makes me feel like summer.
Crystal?
I'm going to go with the cannoli pie from Casadoro. That was amazing and well worth it.
Oh, I'm glad you ended up liking it. I think I was the one that was
it's
pushing you to get it.
Yeah, there was a little bit of peer pressure, but it lasted me a good 2-3 days, so it was well worth it.
Nice.
Mine is maybe a tie. It's between the chicken parm from Casadoro, but also like I think it's every year when our first pool day, we make like a sheet pan of nachos to have by the pool. And so since yesterday was first pool day, we had our sheet pan nachos, but the key is to make them with Doritos instead of tortilla chips.
Nice. That's delicious.
Absolutely.
That sounds awesome.
I was going to say my
Real
time
fast.
was also I went back and forth with the chicken parm from Casadora, but I'm like, Mike's going to talk about it, so I'll talk about something else. Because it was fantastic, and somehow the leftovers were even better.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually shared mine with Craig, which I felt was nice of me.
Very nice.
Let's talk to dessert. I know at least 3 of the 4 of us made it. I'm going to guess Sarah didn't.
I did not.
What did
That get
everyone?
me the recipe before I went grocery shopping.
Been there.
Crystal, what do you think of it?
It was good. It was a little too much for me. However, Craig has been loving it, and I will probably make it for our 4th of July picnic this weekend. Too chocolatey for me. It needed more marshmallows, but that's my own opinion.
You could double up the marshmallows.
I might do that this weekend.
Mike, do you want to tell our listeners what it was?
Oh, probably should. It was Golden Graham treats, but I found it to be a unique recipe because I think I've made them in the past, but I didn't add chocolate to them. I just kind of made them like a Rice Krispie treat.
Mm.
So I was intrigued by the whole melty. I was surprised how well the chocolate melted into the marshmallow and how well it worked. Crystal, what you also could do is instead of putting as much chocolate, you could just sprinkle the chips in at the end
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
and make
I'll
it
have
more
to
like a
play around with
s'more.
it.
Mm.
That's what I was hoping to taste was a s'more, but it was very heavy. I don't know if it's just I put too much in there. It felt very heavy to me, but Craig loves it. He's on like his 3rd one right now, so it works for everyone else. It's fine.
Katie, did you have the opportunity to try it before we started?
I did, and it was delicious. And I agree with you. I have a coworker that makes Rice Krispie treat with golden graham, so it's like a combo. So this was a very unique recipe to me too, and I loved it. And we're a golden grahams household. Like we like to buy golden grahams for like our cereal of the
Yep.
week. So it was super delicious. I do think I could have probably stood some more marshmallows, but of course I didn't make it. Marshall made it, and it's still delicious, but I could probably have stood some more marshmallows. But yum, very yum.
Very yum. I agree. I thought it was tasty. And also, we needed something easy with the last minute of me sending this out.
Absolutely. I think Rice Krispie treats are the only things I've completed so far in this food challenge of the podcast.
All right, so let's get into this week's book, which was The Future Saints by Ashley Winstead. We'll do our normal roundtable, overall thoughts of the book, what you liked, what you didn't like, if you had any favorite sections or passages or quotes. Let's start with Katie, since I know she's the last one to finish it.
Thanks, Mike. So I'll be honest, I was listening to this book while traveling, and I didn't have my handy dandy notebook to take notes in, so I thought I wasn't going to do well. But since I listened to the majority of it today, I think I redeemed myself. But what I took from this book, it's a book about a band and particularly the lead singer's struggle with the loss of her sister, who was also the band manager. By the end of it, I really wasn't all of this book. I thought it was a really great depiction of how grief isn't a one size fits all reality. I think the depth of Ginnie, which is Hannah's the lead singer of the band, Hannah, her sister Ginnie died the year before. I think the death of Ginnie affected a lot of people, but Hannah really struggled the most and was really encouraged through the early parts of the book to move on and get over it and deal with grief in this like little box that a lot of people deal with grief in, but it didn't fit for her. I kind of felt like the loss became her identity, and she channeled her grief in a variety of different ways into her music, into drugs, booze, and manifestations of Jenny. Just spoiler, but I thought it was a really well written journey of grief as well. Um, so just some other things I loved about it. So they had this new band manager, Theo. I really liked that he had a non-traditional depiction of a suit. I love the band's dynamic. They really seemed ride or die despite, Ripper's ill-advised interview. That was kind of made me dislike them for a minute, but they seemed to really stick together and take care of each other when it really mattered. I love that they intervened when she finally broke and put her needs before the band's. She may have already been there, but the support, I think, really went a long way for just talking about how mental health can manifest from life traumas and how having the support of the people that are closest to you really matters. I thought it was a true depiction. When I first started listening, I've listened to a lot of books about bands, and when I first started listening, I expected it to kind of follow the same theme, but I think it really branched out in its own unique perspective of it with how Hannah dealt with grief. And then ultimately by the end of it, I mean, I was really moved. We've all had grief, I'm sure, so I think anyone who reads this could apply their own situation to what Hannah went through. Maybe not as dramatic as Hannah, but I really, by the end of it, I really thought it was a great book, and I was really glad that this was our book for the week.
Anything else?
No, that's enough for now. I know you'll ask some more questions later.
All right, let's move on to Crystal.
I'd have to agree with everything that Katie just said. I thought it was a good book. There was a part of me that didn't really buy Theo and Hannah and that little romance that was supposed to be there. I made a note that it took me 254 pages to believe it. It kind of felt forced to me, but that was my own opinion on that one.
I can agree with that,
But I
though.
did, yeah,
Yeah, me too. It took me a while.
it really took me a while. And even at the end, I respected that he let her do her thing and get the help that she needed. And the same with the band, really respecting the fact that she needed help. But I still, it took me almost the entire book to really believe that romance was there. I enjoyed in the beginning that, like you alluded to, Ginny's death, that we didn't quite know that she was dead right away. And realizing that Hannah had been talking to herself through her grief was not something I picked up on right away. So I appreciated not picking up on that for a change. But I did enjoy seeing Theo's side of how to get a band to stardom and his struggles with Roger, his lovely, horrible boss that I think we've all been there for. He built him up so much. And there was a quote where he said, I wondered whether Roger had ever been the man I built him up to be. Was I so desperate for a mentor, some paternal proxy, that I conjured my version of Roger out of thin air? And just highlighted that because I think we've all been there at some point in time in our career where we build someone up that we're like, oh, this is a mentor. This is someone I want to be like. And then you take a couple steps back and realize that you've just built this person up in your head and it's not really what you thought it was. But I thought it was a great work through grief. It was good to see the band fight for each other. It was a good 3.5 star for me. But I did enjoy the point of views when we saw the interviews, even though I did get mad at Pepper too. But getting to see the other side and the other point of view of Hannah that wasn't Theo and it wasn't Hannah herself, it was nice to see the point of view of others. Yeah, I think it was a good book. I really did enjoy it. And I enjoyed Theo being someone who cares too much because I kind of put myself in his shoes. It was a good book. Good read. I'd read it again.
Sarah, you're up.
So I agree with basically everything. I was a 4.25, 4.5 on this one. I love music. I love bands. I'm a fangirl often. I really loved the two point of views and the going back and forth structure of this book. I loved the short chapters. I really, really thought the social media and the different interview and all those little interludes were just so clever and something you see sometimes in books, but the way it felt so real and modern. And like Crystal said, you get like a different point of view of different characters or even just how the fans feel about certain things. Like I just loved how the obsessiveness that fans get, like, oh, we need to get her haircut, we need to get her sweatshirt, we need to do that. The hype around it came through so much through those little chapters. I knew there was something up with Ginny because the sister, because I'm like, who is she? Like, she's not the drummer. She's not this person. She's not that person. And I had highlighted, the reveal was that with the peach pajamas. And I'm like, I literally said, holy shit out loud. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which I love it when I don't see it coming. And I liked how Ginny flickered in and out throughout the book. You know, when Hannah would connect with someone else, especially Theo, her figment of her sister would flicker away. And I just thought that was such a nice way to show how grief works and how dealing with your emotions and reconnecting with people who are alive. It was just really interesting. I know I've said it in other podcasts, but sister storylines always get me because I have a big sister. I mean, we're very close. And there was one point, I think it was Ripper called it sister magic, that when Ginny and Hannah needed to get something done, there would be sister magic, which my brother-in-law does not like when me and my sister play on the same team for games because he thinks it's cheating because we just have like some morphing in our brains.
I've witnessed this. It's true.
Yeah. So often it's my husband, her husband, and my dad are a team, and then me and my sister because they consider that fair, being 3 against 2 when it's sisters. So yeah, so I really enjoyed it. The one thing I will say is I had a little bit of a hard time getting into it because everyone kept on comparing it to Daisy Jones and the Six. And I didn't think, other than it being a band and that they were having problems, it wasn't that. So I kept on wanting it to be almost. And then once I realized it was its own thing with legs, I got into it. And then I wrote down that the last 30 pages, I basically cried on and off the whole time. And I wrote down, one of the quotes I wrote down was from the New York Times review. And I wrote down, this review was amazing. Holy cow. And I'm like, wait a second, I'm fangirling over a review for a fake band. But in the review, they wrote that the band had lyrics that will make you want to tattoo quotes on your body, which is just such a cool tribute to a band, you know. And so, yeah, I kept on writing asterisks every time I cried in the last 30 pages. And I got teary-eyed or cried at least 6 times throughout the 30 pages. It was during, you know, the performance on stage at the Grammys and the speeches. I just kept on getting teary-eyed, which, as we know, makes a good book. And so then I wrote down a couple little quotes, but all my quotes were just, I really liked how the author wrote, and her small little quotes or sayings like made me giggle or just were like profound. I wrote down, Hannah said at one point, I'm hungry for the past in a way I'm no longer hungry for the future. And then I think Theo described getting the band to like practice their sets. It's like herding a bunch of bickering stoned cats. Really hard. And then, sorry, there was one more flipping. Oh, at the end, one of my favorite parts of the story was, total spoiler alert, Theo basically goes against Roger, his boss, and kind of says a big F you. No, we're releasing this album and I'm going to make it so that the public demands that this gets released. And so Ripper, one of the bandmates, he told Theo after Theo gets fired, pretty much, become your own daddy. I just keep on giggling about become your own daddy.
And they're like, can you stop saying daddy?
Yeah, they were like, please stop saying daddy. And then like they wanted his name to be, wasn't it like Daddy Records or something at one point too?
Yeah.
Suit Records. They were just the humor in a book about such grief was just through the whole thing. And I really liked how the characters became their own. You know, in a band like that, it's such personalities and you could like see it in your mind. So I guess I'll stop there and then Mike can go.
Yeah, I don't have too much to add. Like Sarah said, I think going into it, I was expecting Daisy Jones and the Six. And then at first, I also had a hard time getting into it because it wasn't. But I'm glad it wasn't because I think it needed to be different.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of my favorite things was the Ginny reveal where it was very slow. It was like, the sister's there. Oh, the sister's dead. Oh, she was the manager. Like, I liked how it was spaced out. It wasn't all at once.
Mm-hmm.
Like you like realize how embedded she was into that group. It wasn't just the sister. It was, the manager. And then finding out in the end, like she had planned on leaving the band and what may have happened if she was still around.
Yeah. There's a lot of nice layers to this story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also enjoyed, because with a book like this and it's about a band, there must have been some pressure on the author to like A, come up with song titles, and B, come up with lyrics. I'm glad that she chose only to do like random lines versus come up with a whole song, because then I think it would get, maybe it could get a little cheesy, or just because you're an author does not mean that you're a lyricist. So it could have gone bad if she decided to like put like a whole page of lyrics down versus like the one or two lines per song. And I will say, like Sarah said, a sad book, and if it makes you cry, it usually gets you a bump up in your rating.
Yep.
But it really, what, like, for the most part, the things that like cheered me up, it wasn't like the grief things. Like, I think the one thing that did was the performance at the Grammys when it was showing all the videos, like the home videos of Ginnie. Like that was more of the grief portion. But like, the other parts I teared up on was like the Grammy wins. Like, I just was so happy for them.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of my tears were happy tears.
Yeah. But I did enjoy that. Like, if this book had its happy ever after, she would have left rehab. The band would have stuck together. They would have done an epilogue with another album in the future where it's just as big of a success. I'm glad that it did not go the happy route. That, yes, the band had to break up for her to be healthy. And yes, the other two did stick into a second band together. We're doing great. But it's good that there wasn't like this like tightly like bowed up happy ending where everyone is doing great in the future. And like, we still don't even know like what's going to happen at the end of the book. Like, when we think it's Hannah walking down the beach, but it's not 100% clear, and if her and Theo will end up getting together or not.
Right.
Because we all didn't believe the Theo Hannah relationship, so it's great that they did not 100% end up together in the book.
I believed it. I must be a hopeless romantic.
Oh no,
I believed it.
I was gonna say I didn't mind it as much as I think you and Crystal did, and I think part of that too was but I enjoyed that it wasn't like an all-in, messy romance. It was cautious, and Theo was just he cared about people, and so he didn't want to jeopardize her health, her, any of it, but he just had such a crush. Like, that's what I just felt like they were crushing on each other so much, which was cute.
I wonder if the
Yeah,
dads
I
ever.
definitely.
Oh, go ahead.
I was about to say, yeah, I definitely thought it was could have been a little cliche romance, but I do agree, Sarah. Like, I think that they did it well, where it wasn't just like we fall in love immediately, our eyes lock and we're in love. And it was more, I won't say real life because we're not all musicians and band managers, but it made it a little more relatable. And I kind of rooted for them after I got about halfway through the book.
Yeah, I feel like part of it for me is that, like, I feel like Hannah tried to, like, resist it a lot, and then you could tell when she realized she didn't like disappointing him. That, like, even if it was a friendship, you're like, okay, there's something here. She cares.
Yeah.
And I like that they kept like things very realistic in a way where like paparazzi are like cockroaches, and the fact like they followed her to the graveyard, like that would absolutely happen in real life.
Oh, that pissed me off.
Which, and actually Roger called them to tell them. Roger was like the grossest person ever, which is what happens, which is awful.
Yep.
Wait, Roger didn't call them. I mean, he's a CEO, for God's sake, is I think what he said, but his minions called them.
He made the call to have the call happen.
Yeah, which is
it just
here.
Yeah, it cemented his sliminess. Well, I'm a CEO, for God's sake. Excuse me?
Ugh.
But yeah, we've all dealt with that at work, so we
Yep.
we know those types of people. Did you cast any of the characters with actors, Sarah?
Of course not. But but part of it is because I felt like they were their own people, and all I kept on picturing was like 90s pop punk bands that I loved mixed with Billie Eilish. So like I pictured something in my brain, but it just wasn't an actor and an actress. It was just 90s punk, pretty much.
Got it. Crystal?
I know.
Oh, no, I did not cast anything. I was horrible this week. I kind of with Sarah on this one. I could picture some sort of punk grunge 90s long blonde hair for Hannah, but I couldn't quite place it. It was like Alanis Morissette with blonde hair, but not really. I couldn't really come up with actors to figure it out. Nope, did not cast anyone this week.
Katie, bring us home with some casting.
Well, I did because the last time I was on this podcast, I completely forgot about it, and I was not going to forget about it this time. So I did I cast Hannah as Daisy Edgar Jones, who was from like Normal People and Twister. That was mainly based off the way they described her looks. And then, surprisingly, Theo, I did Paul Mescal, which is also, I think, from Normal People, but what I know him from is Gladiator for Theo. For Jenny, because I think she needs a person, I cast Lily Reinhart from Riverdale.
Okay.
For Kenny, because I just loved Kenny's Namaste personality and just like wanting to get everybody in the right state of mind. I thought Joe Carey from Stranger Things. It just kind of seemed like that would fit him.
Yep, that works.
That's great.
I really struggled with Ripper, so I didn't come up with anything for him. But for Roger, I cast Bob Odenkirk. I just thought he would play that role really great.
He could do
That's a good
sleazy.
call. Yeah, I like that.
Absolutely.
The more we talk, for Hannah, I'm thinking Renee Rapp because you'd actually need her to sing, and I could see Renee Rapp pulling off grungy type of outfit. She's a great actor and amazing singer. I think that would be a good Hannah.
See, we got you to do some casting while we were talking.
Woo!
So, Mike, who are you casting?
For Hannah, I had Florence Pugh.
Ooh.
One.
For Theo, I had Callum Turner. And if you're not familiar who he is, he's Mr. Dua Lipa.
I love that you think that's going to get me to know who it is.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, still clueless.
I think he's also in the running for Bond.
Okay.
And for Roger, I had John Hamm.
Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's like John Hamm and whatchamacallit? Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah.
Lanny's baby.
Yeah.
But like
I
not
love
like
that show.
Yeah, more CEO-ish than John Hamm.
Well, yeah, it's Mad Men mixed with Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah.
Nice. Very good casting, everyone. I'm glad you did such a good job that I don't.
Sarah's gonna be like asleep tonight, and she's gonna wake up just scream out a name.
Yeah.
Have you read anything else from the author, or if you haven't, do you plan on reading anything else from the author? Sarah.
So first off, I don't know if anyone read the author bio, but I want to share it because I think it's very important. It says Ashley lives in Houston with her husband, 3 cats, and beloved wine fridge.
Oh, that's awesome.
I literally highlighted that as well.
I wrote it down and wrote love her with a bunch of exclamation points. So that brings me to the answer. I have not read any books by her, but I want to read everything by her because of her bio. I looked up her other books, and it seems like they're all very different. And I saw a review on Goodreads where someone definitely clearly loves her and says that she can write no wrong and that all her different kind of genres are wonderful. Some seem very creepy, which I'll read, but maybe Mike will read them first. So yeah, I'm excited to try another one.
Crystal?
I am the same as Sarah. I highlighted that and said, yes, I will read the remainder of your books.
Yeah.
I have not read anything else from her, but I will for someone who has 3 cats and a beloved wine fridge. I'm in.
That sounds like my house. Once I get more kittens. Katie.
I haven't read anything by her, but when I looked up her books, there was one book called In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. And I know that's been on my TBR before, but unfortunately, my TBR is like random pieces of paper that are strewed all over my house and makeup bag and work backpack and things. So my TBR is kind of chaotic, but I do remember wanting to read that one. But after reading this one and hearing that awesome bio that I didn't get to read since I listened, I will definitely try to read more of her.
So I had to go to Goodreads to see, and I actually have read a different book by her. I did read that In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. I will be 100% honest. I don't remember it that well. I don't know if it's just because I read a shit ton of books and just did not sink in, or if it's just was not one of my favorites. But
You gave it a 4 stars.
Huh?
You gave it 4 stars.
Oh, did I?
I think so, because I added it to my list after I saw that you read it.
Oh.
And gave it stars.
Well, there we go. Then I must have liked it, because I only rate books if I like them 4 stars or more. If not, they don't get a star rating.
I'm pretty sure. I could be quoting you wrong.
But I did have 2 of her other books on my TBR list on Goodreads, so I will look to read those. All right, final question. Did you find the ending satisfying, Crystal?
I did. I liked that it wasn't a little bow on top of everything, and Hannah got the help that she needed. I remember making notes through the book going, okay, everyone needs therapy in this book quite badly. And I think it's great that the other two still had their own band. Theo had his success, and everyone kind of had their own life. They didn't have to end up together and happy, and that they also Theo brought in, what's his name, Dr. G, the other character who was consistently high all the time, brought him into the label as well. So I thought it ended well. I enjoyed that it wasn't a pretty little bow at the end.
Katie?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I did like it. It was more real. It was just, I think, Mike, you alluded to this. The happy ending could have been that the band got back together and had enormous success and nobody dealt with issues moving forward. But this was more realistic, which I really, really enjoyed. I really was excited when they said Theo rejected Sasha once he became his own. I was like, yeah, fuck that bitch. And then you didn't ask this, well, you didn't specifically ask for quotes, but the only quote I wrote down was like the ending of the book. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I thought it was really good. It was Theo talking about love, and this is like really in the last like 5 minutes of the book if you were listening to the audiobook. But he said, in my lifetime, I've met so many people whose love persisted against all obstacles. A woman who refused to let go of the sister she loved, who managed to conjure her out of thin air just for one last conversation. And then I'll skip, and it said a mother who spent years waiting for her son to stop chasing the dream of an old family and come home to her, which is a reflection of Theo and his father that wasn't around. And then he said, I myself have fallen on my sword, reinvented my career, and sat day after day on a California seashore like a fisherman's widow waiting for a day that may never come, all because of love. I really love that quote. And then he finished it with, for her, I would allow grief to shatter me. I thought that it took all I could not to break, but I was under a time crunch and had to get all my notes down. And I think if I had not been under a time crunch, I probably would have sobbed because it was really sweet.
So you're saying the key to not sobbing your eyes out of books is to finish them really quickly? Last minute?
Or, yeah, to procrastinate, basically.
Sarah?
Pretty much ditto all of that. I love when there's a hopeful ending. I love when there's a 6 months flash in the forward situation. But I loved that it was realistic, but still had a little bit of hope.
Yeah, I think Katie touched on this. The one thing I talked a lot before about the ending and how I liked it, but one thing I really enjoyed was that he did not call the father.
Yeah.
I thought that was very important for, I think, his growth, that like he got past the need to have him in his life. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I did enjoy that. Anything else on the future Saints before we move on?
I don't think so.
All right.
No, I think the only thing I'd want to say is I really enjoyed the Taper story, but that's just
Oh yeah.
I love her.
To be honest, I don't know what a taper is.
I had to Google it, and it's actually extremely cute, and I would have just hugged it if I found it underneath my desk one day.
Is it like a quokka? Never mind.
That is.
What's a taper? I just wanted to one up everybody and say the name of an animal that hopefully nobody else named.
No, I had no idea. I will send a picture to everyone because I can't describe it. It's like an anteater, but not. I don't know.
Oh, I
Yeah,
think I know what you're
cute.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would have Googled it if I'd had time.
Yeah. Procrastination does not pay.
Right.
Oh.
All right. So we'll move on. So before we get into our bullshit topic, we like to talk about what we've been reading, what we plan on reading. Sarah, let's start with some books you've read recently, and if you have any recommendations for our listeners.
Okay, I'll do my normal. I am reading my physical book. I'm reading is King of Scars by Lee Bardugo. In case people don't know this by now, I'm reading the whole Grishaverse, which is a lot of books. This is the last duology in her series. It's amazing, like all the rest. Audiobook, I'm listening to Theo of Golden by Alan Levy. It's wonderful, especially on audiobook. The narrator is just, I smile every time it comes on. And then on my Kindle, I'm reading The Castle School for Troubled Girls by Alyssa, I'm going to mess up her name, but Scheinmel, Sheinmel. You should look it up. I've read it in like 2 days, and I only read my Kindle after dark. So it's a really good one. Highly recommend it. And then my next book, I think, on my pile is going to be Emily Henry's Great Big Beautiful Life.
All right. And then
I feel like Kindle After Dark is like its own series.
It is, and it's not even like, it's not a spicy book, and I made it sound spicy, but it's about teenage girls and like therapy. But I did read. Well, I didn't, but it was on my iPad. I did read all the Heated Rivalry.
Yay.
So that could be the Kindle After Dark.
and we are asking everyone to make a pledge to read one physical book off your physical TBR. What's it going to be, Sarah?
Oh, I just put a pile down. I don't know any of their names. I can't come back to me. I'll think of what one of them are that I just pulled.
All right, let's move on to Crystal. What have you been reading lately and any recommendations?
Let's see. I highly recommend Harvest Season, which is the second book of the Seasons of Carnage trilogy by Bren Weaver. Did not expect to be crying at the end of this book, but I definitely did. Can't wait for book 3. If you love Bren Weaver, if you've read her stuff before, definitely read Taurus season first, but Harvest Season was a great addition. Also found myself reading Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'm going to give it another shot with book 2. I think I just wasn't in the right mood for it, but I'm excited to keep reading that series because, yeah, it was good, and I can't wait to see it as a TV show, in all honesty. That's one book I can't wait to see made into a series. I think that's going to be a great TV series once it gets put together.
And oh, go ahead.
No, actually, I've been boring with my books. That those are probably the two only like ones I would highly recommend that I've read recently, and I just finished a cozy mystery this weekend.
And what are you excited to read next?
Next up, well, since someone's book doesn't come out until tomorrow, and I need to continue my Kindle streak, I will be reading The Kings of Kearney by Navessa Allen. And then on Tuesday, I will start that other book when it's released.
Very, very excellent. Happy to hear.
Yes.
And physical book off your TBR?
I'm looking at my Kindle TBR right now, and I'm going to pledge to read All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven because I am now addicted to her, and I have not yet gone back to her books after Meet the Newmans. So that will be my I Promise to Read book.
Such a good one.
Such a good book.
Not to hype it up, but such a good one.
She's like, it sucked. I'm like, damn.
Damn it.
All right, Katie, you're up.
So I would say books that I recommend. I recently read Falls from Grace by Ruby Landers, which ironically was another music band driven theme. It's LGBTQ friendly book. And the reason the book was really good, but the reason that I love this so much is my best friend Stephanie is married to a woman, and they have been opposed to reading for the entirety of my existence knowing them. And then recently, they discovered LGBTQ books, and now they're obsessed and read constantly. And I'm just so happy for them that they could experience the same joy of reading that most of our friends do, and that they can actually participate when we talk about books moving forward. So, but it's also a really good book. It's actually a series. I've only read the first one, but I plan to read more. And then the other one is We're All Guilty by Karen Slaughter, which is like a thriller. The funny thing about this is I was, of course, listening to the audiobook, and I think that it was like 16 hours long, and it takes part in like two different decades. So the first decade, when it came to the conclusion of that decade, I looked and I thought the book was over, but really I had 10 hours of listening left. I actually text Mike about it. I said, when you think your book's over, but you have 10 hours left. But it was really good. I do like Karen Slaughter. I love a good thriller every now and then, and I think she does a really good job. Other than that, because of like my travel and some other things that have been going on, I've been reading some free books off of Audible. Not that they were bad, but I mean, I wouldn't put them high on your TBR.
And what are you excited to read next?
I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead.
Well, you know there's going to be a follow-up question to this.
Sure.
Well, name a book off your physical TBR shelf that you're going to knock out in the next month.
In the next month. Okay, so I am staring at my bookshelf, and I think the book that I should say is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, because I've never read Abby Jimenez because I keep buying her books. Well, I keep buying her books and then refusing to read physical books. I'm really awful at it. And Mike can tell you, I'm an awful friend and awful at reading physical books. But I'll commit. We'll see how I do. I might disappoint, but I think that should probably be on the list because I hear Abby Jimenez is amazing.
They're such
that-
quick reads.
Yeah, and then you'll go through the rabbit hole of needing to read every single Abby Jimenez.
Yes.
Not that I'm talking from experience.
That's the way it happens,
Mm.
though.
So are you going to stick with that being as what you're excited to read next, or is there another book that you're excited to read?
I'll stick with that being as what I'm excited to read next.
All right. For me,
You
I-
sounded so disappointed. All right.
she only came up with one book. It's fine. Since I recorded the episode last week, I've only finished 2 books since then. Or actually, I've only finished one. I'm almost done with another one. So I'm almost done with All My Rage by Saba Tahir. I'm going to hopefully not butcher that name. I'm like 85% done. I can tell it's going to be at least a 4-star rating. I think it'll take something devastating in the last 15% to bump it to a 5. I think Sarah gave it a 5.
I did, I think. And I also gave it to you in your advent calendar, yes?
I don't know if you did. I see a different book from her that you gave me.
Oh.
Ember in the Ashes.
Well, maybe I got that at the library book sale, and I want to read that one. Intense.
Got it. And then the book I actually finished was You'd Be Home by Now by Kathleen Glasgow. It's about a girl in high school. Her brother is addicted to painkillers and drugs. They get into a car accident. She gets severely injured and he has to go to rehab. And it's all about like the aftermath. spoiler alert, someone dies in the car crash, but it's like in the first chapter of the book, so it's not really a spoiler. But I thought it did a really good job going through grief and addiction and depicted very well in the book. Excited to read. I did recently start Dungeon Crawler Carl as well. I'm about, I think, 30% through the first one. So I'm excited to keep going through that. And then I just finally bought a book on Kindle. It's called A Short Stay in Hell. This book has been on my Libby hold for about a year, and I was still like 50 spots away. And then Kindle Prime Day or Amazon Prime Day had it on sale for $1.49. I was like, it's time. And then the
I'm
makeup.
really excited. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just about to say I'm really excited about all the Dungeon Crawler Carl reading because I loved it. And if you are reading the physical book, highly recommend you go on TikTok and just listen to some of the voices. They won't give anything away, but the audio books are amazing, and I'm really excited. I can't wait till y'all finish them.
Yeah, and Katie, just so you know, once my Kindle is off vacation mode, I am first in line for the book 1 and book 2 at the library. So,
Yay!
And then a book I promised to read off my TBR. I'm looking at my stack in the top of my bookcase. I'm going to say Final Girls by Riley Sager, just because it's been floating around for a little bit. And a good scary book will be nice.
to report back to you, physical book on my TBR that is in my list is Girl Made of Stars by Ashley Blake. It's one that I constantly pull out of my bookshelf and then never get around to reading it. So that's on my library summer reading just started. And so I'm like, I'm going to make that be a top priority.
Oh, I need to put all my books in for summer reading.
Yep.
Ours started last week. I want to win my prize.
Someone has already, it's been open for a week and she's already read over 20 books. I'm like, oh, to live that life.
Is it Celeste?
I was just going to say, is it Celeste? But that would be my library.
Yeah, I was going to say. Not Celeste. I think she is a retired woman in town that reads a lot. She wins it every year. But
And Celeste would be at like 50 somehow already.
right.
Yeah, I'm not even going to look at ours because I know Celeste will have it in the bag. Or Julie. They'll both beat me.
I like it. Ours started doing teams. So the first thing I did was to see if because there's like 5 women that always are in the top. I'm like, are any of them on my team?
Were any of them?
No. Nope.
Boo.
My team is currently second to the bottom. I've only logged a book so far. So.
All right. So should we move on to this week's bullshit topic, which is what grinds your gears? I think we're all having some frustrations with the way the world's going right now. So let's just air some grievances.
I'm down.
We're going to start with Katie, because I know Katie said she did not have a lot of trouble putting these answers together. What is something popular today that you either don't get or pisses you off?
Well, the first and most obvious response was religion, but I've decided to be a little bit more creative. And I would say texting rules. Like, you can't do a capital K with a period because that gives off some kind of message. I didn't know that until someone pointed it out to me that I was being rude. And also, along those same lines, knowing what each emoji means. Like, for instance, the melting face, like, I always thought it meant like melting in a good way or, oh, I'm so excited. I mean, it has a smile on its face. And finally, because of the way my friends were using it, I Googled it and it means like overwhelmed with creeping dread. Like, I just, what? Come on. I like to look at an emoji and based off its facial expression, use it appropriately. I don't like these underlying meanings. So that's my answer for that one.
Great start. Crystal.
I now just want to agree with everything Katie just said, because what does that even mean? Kind of going along that, I think not really the texting thing, but I'm totally just don't know anything. Like this whole 6-7 thing, like I don't get it. I think it's stupid. I don't understand any type of slang. I know that's just because I work from my house and I don't really leave the house that often. But I feel so old being like kids these days. I don't get it. I don't get some of the trends and it drives me kind of crazy because just use English and or normal words and I'll understand what the hell you're trying to say to me.
Sarah?
It's so funny because I do love how we're all like kids these days. But I think this is something that I think we're all guilty of, but screens and phones. The other day we were hanging out, it was me and my family, and I realized we all had our phones near us in our hands. We kept on picking them up. We were trying to have a conversation. And like, why? Why when this become a thing? Why does my sister has to like send the photos immediately when she takes them? And again, I love her and I'm glad that she documents things, but we're just all a little attached to our phones. Necessary evil.
Okay.
For me, I have two. One will require more of an explanation. One will be pretty obvious. The obvious one is Labubu's.
I just love that you said it. That like makes me not grind my gears.
Is it just Labubus or bag charms?
No, it's just Labubu's are like super expensive. They're kind of creepy looking, and I just don't get
Yes.
it.
It's the
Okay, I
Beanie
can
Baby
support that.
now.
And my second one is going to be a little more long-winded. So I don't know if anyone knows this, but like Pokemon cards have a huge market, and part of it is like scalpers going to stores and buying it all up and then selling it on eBay for like 4 to 10 times the cost it was at Target. But the reason it grinds my gears is because I was recently in Target when they did one of their drops, and I was trying to walk out of the store, and some guy tried to approach me, and I know he's going to ask me to buy some for him because there's a limit on how many you can buy. And I was like, absolutely not, to his face, and walked out of the store.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's yikes.
That's wild.
Yes, and I recently heard a story from a friend who went to Best Buy this weekend, and there was a line of like 300 people waiting outside for the release of a Pokemon card. And I guarantee you, 90% of them were scalpers.
Well, and it's like how like with like the Trader Joe's bags, like that's a thing. Like all these special things that people wait outside stores for. I'm just like, no. There's bigger things.
I've
do that
never
at Run
wanted
Disney
something
now,
that
too.
bad.
Yep.
All right. Since I think we are all very politically aligned, we're going to kick off with Sarah. What is something in the current administration that grinds your gears?
So I wrote down all of it. The lack of respect, the unnecessary fear and anxiety it puts on my friends and loved ones. That's what I wrote. So there were no specifics, just all of it.
Katie?
So my first thought was all of it, and we don't have time for all of it. So I did pick a couple of things very recently because from East Tennessee, so we're a very red state. So my first one was Mike Johnson calling Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid entitlement funds, and Republicans not batting an eye. And then my second one was seeing our local governor campaign ads that referred to being more like Trump and bringing more Trump-like behaviors to Tennessee, and knowing that it's a good thing that they say that for the majority of Tennesseans.
Ugh. Crystal.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
I wrote down they're alive. That was my.
That's the answer.
Then I was like, that might get me kicked out of the country. But yes, no, they're alive. And then just, that whole taking everyone's rights away and absolute insanity that is dementia running our country. I can't. I'll get too angry and I'll need to go have more bottles of wine downstairs.
So yeah, I'll throw it out there that I'm hoping none of our listeners will get offended at, because I don't know why they would be listening to this podcast given the most of the people that are on it. One, I said everything's exhausting, so like everyone else said, everything. But that this administration turned a podcaster who fought with people as their hobby into like a martyr. Charlie Kirk.
Oh, yeah. Ugh.
And somehow it's still something going on right now. And how long ago did he die?
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut because I'll say
Me too.
things.
That's what my first thought was. I should not say anything.
Yep.
What is something someone in your atmosphere, could be a friend, a family, a coworker, has done or said to you recently that grinds your gears? And you can or don't have to say who it is, because you can say it freely without having the repercussions of naming them. Katie.
So this one was immediately I knew the answer to this. And these are coworkers, so I'm going to refrain the right to not name them. But I had one coworker tell another coworker, these were males, about how they had to leave early to go get their wife's B-Day present. And the other person was like, yeah, I know, if you don't get them exactly what they want, they'll be held to pay. And I'm sitting there listening to this, knowing this coworker, and I'm like, oh, really? That's the plight of you as a husband? I know for a fact that your wife just birthed 2 babies for you and also works full time. So by God, you have to go get her what she wants for her birthday because she is too enraptured in her career and the 2 toddlers that she's raising that she pushed out of her vagina. It literally sent me. And I'm telling on myself, I made a TikTok about it because I was so mad. And I don't even make TikToks. And then I posted it and then I deleted it because I was like, oh my God, these are my coworkers. They know. But on the same lines, a coworker recently just said, I bought my wife a new car. And I was just sitting there thinking, you bought your wife a new car? I know she works full time. So her income matters too. So don't go around telling everyone you bought your wife a new car when she works full time in a career that I know is lucrative. Those are the 2 things that really ground my gears over the last year or so.
It was great.
Did I sound passionate? Because my heart's like racing.
I am angry for you, and
Thank
I
you.
want to go find those coworkers for you. So I feel you.
We'll just kick them all a few times.
Crystal, you're up. Tough act to follow.
This was well, now I just recently, everyone that Katie just mentioned, I now want to go and beat up for her. I had a hard time with this one. I don't know if it's just the Zoloft doing its job or what, but I'm going to go with the coworker that caused an extreme mess for a very high profile customer, dropped an email today and won't be back till the 20th. And now I can't help the customer for a very long time. And the customer's going to be screaming at me tomorrow morning. So that's my little unhappiness for the week. Just people who drop the ball, leave it on your plate, and run away for vacation for 3 weeks.
That's diabolical.
I feel sorry for your morning.
It's also fun because, I'm in an international job. So in France, they really aren't going to check anything on their time off. So that's going to be my next 3 weeks, trying to fix his mistakes while he's gone.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sarah.
So I ended up going with like the general disrespect for people's time. Calling someone on the phone when you don't actually have what you need to be telling them, or that it could be an email. And then also the I send you an email and you think you have to call me to talk about it when it's just a yes or no question. Things like that. Like just the general, time is important lately. Let's not make something that could be 5 minutes, 20 minutes. I don't know. I just feel like and you can't say anything. And you just question it. So is that, and then also this wasn't a friends or family thing, but the lack of spatial awareness people have.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So if you're in the,
Absolutely.
and I feel like, you want to say it's the parents with the kids that are running around, but I find it's often the older people who just stand in the middle of the aisle and are reaching in 2 different directions and blocking everyone else.
While the cart's also in the middle.
Yeah, just pay attention to what's around you a little bit. Care about others. be nice. That's my be nice. That's always my biggest grinding. Be nice.
I feel that 100%. Like, more than road rage, store rage or public space rage is what gets me.
We were in Costco the other day, and there was this mom with her. She was maybe 8 years old. She was literally running laps around the register, the people in line behind us, pushing the cashier, like tapping him and pushing him, and the mom was laughing about it all. And at one point the girl like ran pretty far away and the mom panicked a little bit, and like other people had to help this woman out. And I'm like, no, like, yes, it takes a village, and I'm sorry you're overwhelmed, but if I was running around like that when I was little, my mom would have like just picked me up and we would have left.
Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And
It was just everyone was almost in awe about what was happening.
my petty ass would have started cackling as soon as her child got too far away, and then she felt overwhelmed.
I just kept on making eyes with the cashier because you could tell he just didn't know what to do. Like, he wanted to get her out of there as quickly as possible.
I'm going to have to ask, what was Craig's opinion of this situation?
He made it so that the little girl couldn't go in between our carriage and like the one in front of her. Like, he kind of blocked it.
I love that.
There was a lot of sighing happening. I think if it went out any longer, he would have made louder comments. But yeah. Yep.
And this is why I get my groceries delivered.
Same, Crystal. I was about to say the exact same thing.
Oh, so I have a separate grinding of gear related to that because every time I order Instacart, they either forget things or have the worst replacements for things. So I can't do that because I just get more pissed off using it.
Yep.
The past couple of weeks, I can agree with that. Stop and Shop has not had any of the vegetables I've put on, and I've put alternatives on it, and they don't get the alternatives. And I was like, I just want some vegetables. That's all I'm asking for.
But, like,
I need vegetable at this point. Put it
Are
in
you asking for like very rare vegetables?
No, I'm not. I want frozen broccoli and frozen corn. Just give me a bag. Go get me fresh. I don't care. Just give me broccoli. I just want some vegetables.
So every brand of frozen vegetable is out of broccoli and corn, is what they're saying.
Supposedly, apparently. I know.
Mine is kind of like a two-parter. One's a little older and one's a little more recent. This comes from the same circle of people, and I think Sarah's going to recognize one part of the story, that I was called selfish for not wanting children.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
No. Oh, no.
And in a recent, that one was a little bit ago, and then someone else in the same circle recently was talking about a boss, and one of the reasons why she didn't like her was because she didn't have children, which was said right in front of me.
Oh,
Wow.
No.
She was bad because she wore name brands and never had children.
That sounds like jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
I give kudos to Brennan for keeping sane in the situation. All right. What is something you feel should be more popular than it is? Sarah.
Kindness and pineapple on pizza.
Ugh, gross.
You had me until pineapple on pizza.
I love me some pineapple on pizza.
It's a trash topping.
It's not for everyone, but you have to accept that people like it.
Crystal?
I also had written down kindness, but also respect for others. Like, me and Craig talked about this before because I was like, wow, what is something that should be more popular? And we both agreed. Kindness, being respectful of others, and just, I don't know. And I think it just goes back to the whole question number 2 about our current administration just making life harder than it needs to be. Anyways. And my husband just brought me more wine. So
Yay.
You have
Katie?
So I will continue the theme because I love being surrounded by like-minded people. I wrote empathy, which is sort of the same, but yes, is a big reflection of question number 2. And then I also said learning the basics of driving on the interstate. Because this traffic in Knoxville is just not necessary. And if people would learn to drive, I could get to work without being angry.
I just want to point out that I love that Mike surrounds him with great people, because I literally wrote down kindness and empathy, but only said one. But then you guys wrote the other two. Very sweet.
So speaking of highway rules, I told Katie the story when I was driving her to Casadoro the other night.
Hmm.
When you're driving outside of Hartford going south, there's the exit only for Brainerd Road and the exit only for the Berlin Turnpike. And
Yeah.
my daily battle is people driving down the Brainerd Road exit to the last second and then trying to cut over. It is
That used to
always
piss me off so much.
it's always my goal to not let them in. I had such
Yep.
a successful time last week where a driver and I working together, I knew they were doing the same shit, forced the car to take the Brainerd Road exit.
Like that.
Like didn't even like
love
slow
that
down
so
to like
much.
I love when
mark.
people work together.
Mike, I also love that that's been your like thing for like a decade now.
Oh yeah.
That one spot.
Yep.
All
I
of
will-
this reminds me that common sense is just not common anymore, and maybe that should have been one of my popular things.
Yeah. Mine is going to be, can we make having dinners out between 5 and 6 p.m. more popular? I love an early dinner.
We'll be able to get our reservations easily.
Huh?
No, because then we can't get our reservations easily.
Yeah, but what if like you're going out with someone and they're like, oh, let's do like an 8:30 dinner.
I'm starving. That's just not going to work.
I was gonna say most caveat is like one of my groups of friends, but most of my friends are like me and like a 5 or 6 o'clock dinner.
Yeah, I have a couple of friends that will wholeheartedly agree with you. They are known as the early bird specials of the group.
Yep, that's us.
And sometimes you can catch the tail end of a happy hour if you're early
Yeah.
enough.
No,
Exactly.
that's a good argument.
And
Like
then
Casador the other night.
Yeah.
Tell Gen Z something they need to hear. Crystal.
Oh God, this is the manager coming out of me. You need to do work, and you need to work hard, and you need to be able to work independently in the real world to succeed. And we can still see when you're not doing work as a manager. That's it. Do your job that you were hired for. We are not going to baby you. You need to stand up for yourself. Do it.
Katie.
Mine is a little different. I don't know. Y'all can tell me if it's an unpopular opinion or not. But I wrote this down, and it's kind of wordy. I said, we're counting on y'all to save humanity. You have all the tools to think for yourself and break the traditions of aligning yourself with your family values. The old guard will eventually die off completely. And I think Gen Z will be the ones, dare I say, actually, to make America great. And I don't mean again, because we have yet to be great in my mind. But I think Gen Z has all the tools that they need to save us.
Sarah.
I wrote that not everything you see on social media is true, and that there's a world outside.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that
So
could apply
true.
to everyone, but I worry of, I don't know what age Gen Z is, but I just worry teenagers see too much on social and think that's the way it has to be.
Yeah, agree.
Here's what Gen Z needs to hear. You can make fun of us millennials all you want and complain about things we do and cringy things we say or post online. But there's this weird thing going on with you where you're looking older than us and you're a lot younger than us.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because your generation's not drinking as much anymore and your body's not pickled like ours is and just stopped aging. But when you make fun of us, just look in the mirror and you look a good 5 to 10 years older than me, and I'm in my 40s.
I love that, because I think there was a time period where Gen X, also when they were our age, looked older than us, and now Gen Z also looks older than us. So it makes us either the most pickled or just the best at aging.
I think we're just the best.
It's gonna go with we're the best.
Of course.
I think we were fed just the right amount of preservatives in our food
Yes.
to have the best
Yes.
interaction in our body. What is something book related that grinds your gears?
People are
Crystal.
judgy. Oh, I already started answering. Sorry. See, I got too much wine. When people are judgy about what other people read, people are reading. Who cares if it's smut and it's dirty smut? No one cares. They're reading. It's entertaining to them. Leave it alone. I hate when people are judgy.
Sarah.
I wrote two things. I wrote when covers are too similar. There's been a lot of things where, like, when you walk in a bookstore, or there's been like posts on Instagram, which I just said, don't believe everything you see, but where the books are very, very similar. I judge books by their cover. Don't try to confuse me. And then I wrote along the lines again of social media when people show things on Instagram and don't show the covers. Like, just get to the point. You're reviewing a book. Let me see the author's name in the book so I know whether or not I need to write it down.
Katie.
I said overused cliche statements, and I don't mean like you can't use a cliche statement, but when you use it repetitively throughout your book, like I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding, and you say it like every third chapter. But that was really it. But I do agree with you, Sarah. Don't hold your book sideways and talk for 5 minutes and then only give me a glimpse right before the video ends.
Yeah, there's no reason for it. Like, you're not having a secret.
Mine is when you're reading a book series and the author feels the need in their sequels to give you like a huge overview of what previously happened.
Yes.
Like, if you're a fan of a series, one, you don't necessarily need the recap, or two, you could just look up the synopsis of the book before you read the second one. Like, oh yeah, I remember that. I don't need chapters reminding me of what happened.
Agree. The Kindle recaps are great for that.
Ooh, I didn't know there's Kindle recaps.
I also
They
didn't
will.
know
They'll
that.
do a recap. It's amazing. It helped a lot for actually harvest season because I remembered tourist season, but not everything. So I highly suggest Kindle recaps when you're reading a series.
I ended up going on Spark Notes, which I didn't know was still a thing until I really didn't remember a book and it popped up as a thing.
People are still paying for Spark Notes?
No, it's free.
Oh, okay.
It's free now?
Well, at least every time I've gone, maybe I haven't used it enough, but every time I've done it, I haven't. I mean,
they have to realize that anyone can just Google or YouTube something and find out everything they need.
Yeah, I can't remember what book it was that I was looking up it was like a second in a series that I hadn't read in forever. But
last question. What is something considered cringe now that you still love? Katie.
Oh man, mine was very elder millennial. Skinny jeans and a good pun.
nice.
And a good pun.
I like both of those.
Sarah.
I wrote probably half of my playlists, and then also 90s actors like Will Smith and Ben Affleck.
Crystal.
I just did that. I'm still a Disney adult, and I don't care.
Mine is that we had the battle at least for men, we battled so long to have like ankle length socks be popular. Now that for the younger generation is trying to make like tube socks popular. No one wants you wearing flip flops and tube socks.
I saw a meme the other day and I loved it. And it was that I'm going to wear my ankle socks until I die because I'm older than you and I'm still lifting heavier weights than you at the gym. That was like one of my things.
I just had an entire conversation with like my group chat about whether or not we should start wearing tall socks again.
The answer is no.
I'm a no. I'm a no.
Only if I'm working from home, and then I have big comfy socks on. But
different.
other than that, no.
Yeah.
Well, I was at a soccer game the other night and it was hot out and there was like a kid in shorts with socks like up to their knees. I'm like, just wear pants. All right. We're going to move to our favorite section, the rapid response segment. Everyone knows how it works, so I don't need to go over the details. Do we have a volunteer to go first?
Sure.
We're so quiet.
I'm gonna say Sarah volunteered with her laugh.
Yep.
All right, ready?
Yep.
What team other than the U.S. do you want to win the World Cup?
Argentina.
Potato salad,
Or
macaroni
France.
salad,
Sorry.
or coleslaw?
Pasta salad, was that an option?
Well, I guess it's macaroni salad. It'll work.
Your pasta salad.
Oh, okay. Artificial watermelon flavor.
No.
What's your favorite number?
2 or 22.
That's 2 answers.
22 because it's twos.
Who is the worst person you can think of?
I mean, I think we already said it. Or that they're Trump. Or
Yeah.
Roger from the book was pretty bad too.
What's your favorite flavor of popsicle?
Red.
Appropriate response. Katie, what team do you want to win the World Cup other than the U.S. or instead of the U.S.?
Brazil.
Potato salad, macaroni/pasta salad, or coleslaw?
Coleslaw.
Artificial watermelon flavor.
Depending on the method, yes.
Favorite number.
0.
Who is the worst person you can think of?
Donald Trump Sr.
And favorite flavor of
Donald
popsicle.
Trump Jr. Banana.
Really? That is a bold choice.
Yeah, that's
It's an amazing choice.
I don't know
I'm
if
not-
I've ever had a banana popsicle.
yeah. I don't think I have either.
So growing up, Hoodsey used to have popsicles. I don't know if they still make them. You like the Hoodsey cups? They had a popsicle pack that had banana in it.
So I guess I should caveat. We have a local dairy here in East Tennessee. It's called Mayfield's, and they produce like the best milk that's ever been made. But they also put out popsicles, and they have amazing banana popsicles. I honestly don't think I've ever tried another banana popsicle other than Mayfield, so I can see why that's a controversial answer.
Speaking of banana flavor, I do not recommend the banana frosty from Wendy's for Minions.
Oh God. Oh, that just sounds no.
I had it. It was not enjoyable. Crystal,
Oh no.
what team do you want to win the World Cup other than the United States or instead of?
Oh, this is such a tough one. I'm gonna go with Scotland, the new sister country of Boston.
Sadly, they're out of the tournament already.
Yeah. I was gonna
Okay,
say,
then fine. Germany just for Freddie LA7 because I enjoy reading those posts.
Do you want me to give you a little more insight?
Did Germany lose too?
During this podcast recording.
I don't know who's still there, so I don't really care at this point.
Potato salad, macaroni/pasta salad, or coleslaw?
Pasta salad.
Artificial watermelon.
Absolutely not.
Favorite number.
6.
Who's the worst person you can think of?
Donald Trump.
Favorite flavor of popsicle.
Orange.
Another bold choice.
Oh, orange everything.
Now, orange flavor or orange color?
Both.
Okay.
What's the difference?
Well, like a mango flavor could be orange, a peach.
Oh yeah,
She likes the citrus.
I do.
Mike, who do you want to win the World Cup?
Yeah, now I need to see who's left in the World Cup.
Is Ghana still in?
You're looking at. What was that?
Is Ghana still in?
Yes.
I'm going to put they're not going to win it, but because there's a Hartford athletic coach on the Ghana coaching squad.
They're in whatever the thing is where like they like so bad. Where like they're like the wild card into it.
The best of the third place teams in the groups.
Yeah, that whatever that is.
Yeah.
I'm trying real hard here, but I do enjoy the World Cup a lot.
It's literally all I've been watching.
No, me too. Craig is upset with me right now. He's like, "Do you think you're going to be done in time for us to watch a whole game tonight?" We're on last night's games.
You crazy people with your recordings.
Yep.
Does anybody else think that the new U.S. coach looks like Russell Crowe?
Craig was drunkenly yelling it the other day. I wouldn't believe him. And then one of the announcers said it. And he's like, "See?" So I'm going to tell him that you said it as well.
Well, the first U.S. game, I had my glasses on, and I'm like, I guess I can only see things up close with my glasses on, and then everything like more than 2 feet away is blurry. And Marshall goes, "Look, it's Russell Crowe." And I looked and I was like, "Oh my God, Russell Crowe's at the World Cup." And then he was like, "No, that's our coach." And I was like, "Russell Crowe's our coach?" And then I had to take my glasses off. It was really embarrassing, but hilarious. But
That's amazing.
I love it.
Mike, what's your favorite flavor of popsicle?
Typically red.
You see? Very valid answer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Pink can be
And
deceiving
who's
because
the
it could be
worst
watermelon.
person?
Oh,
Oh, that's true.
Donald Trump, obviously.
You don't
Okay.
you don't like watermelon Jolly Ranchers?
Oh God, no.
No.
That's like
Weird.
one of my least favorite flavors in the world.
Yeah, I paused because I don't mind sour watermelon stuff. So like the the sour watermelon. Like
I just had some sour Starburst that had a really awesome sour watermelon, so I get you.
like the Sour Patch Kid watermelon. I don't know what it's called.
Ugh.
If that's what it's called. I like those.
Yeah, I like real watermelon. I hate artificial watermelon.
Well, that's why I don't like the strawberry high noon thing. Is because it's very fake strawberry.
Yeah, fake strawberry too can be a rough flavor, unless you're
Yeah.
a pink starburst.
No, that's delicious. But like when it's too fake. Ugh.
2 Chainz. On that note, thank you to our listeners this week for tuning in on our random discussions and talk.